Hey Crusaders, Daryl here. Today we're doing a last minute prep day for our trip coming up the 17th to the mountains. And today we have our buddy Steve with us, or we should say last minute Steve, because he waits to the last minute to get things done. So let me just walk around his truck and I'll let you know exactly what we're planning on trying to accomplish today, so we don't have to hear him complain about loss of power to appliances or tires rubbing or anything else. So stay tuned. Don't forget, like, subscribe, and share. And here is the walk around of my buddy Steve's 2006, I believe it is, Mitsubishi Montero. Okay, so first thing, as you notice, the wheels and tires are off, and his ARB bumper has a tendency to rub his wheels and tires. So let's try and get that out of the sun. So what he did was he's cutting this part of the ARB to prevent, make better clearance for the tire rubs. So he's doing that on both sides, the driver's side and the passenger side. The second thing we're going to do is we're in the process, there's Doc Martin.
Hey, what's up?
In the process of installing a kick-ass shower awning, privacy awning. So he has these crossbars that stick out, so we're trying to figure out how to mount them. And since his basket sits so far back, we couldn't mount it to the basket. So we went ahead and we drilled through the T-slot and mounted the brackets, and we're just going to have the kick-ass stick out a little further than I personally would want, but we're going to get it on there. It's not going to stick past the mirrors of the vehicle, so it'll be fine. Alright, so there's Steve. Say hi, Steve.
Hi, Steve.
Alright, so that's Steve. So the next thing is we're going to, he has a battery box here, and here's the power outlets, but these power outlets have a tendency to, one, lose power, correct? And two, the 12-volt plug on his refrigerator has a tendency to pop out. So to prevent having to listen to him fuss and cuss about his batteries and his battery box losing power, we're going to install Anderson plugs. We're going to rerun wire from the front battery to this plug, and we're going to install Anderson plugs so the battery can be plugged into the power while he's driving, and also it can be plugged into the fridge can be plugged into the Anderson plugs on the battery, so he can keep that powered while the battery is being charged. So that's something else we're going to get accomplished today. Okay, so the other thing we're going to do is we are going to install a hitch for his vehicle. As you can tell, he currently does not have a hitch on the back side of it. So what he has is these factory, I guess they're called factory crash bars right here. So we're gonna remove these crash bars, which also has the factory tow hook, and we're gonna install a hitch, which is one, gonna protect this underbody, and two, give us another extraction point when we have to remove him from being stuck, which he happens to do a lot. So that's a fourth thing that we're doing. Alright, hopefully something else. Here is my 03 Mitsubishi Montero. So I believe really the only thing that's needed right now is I have to, not that I have to, but I want to replace the fluid in the front differential, the rear differential, and the transfer case. The transmission's good because I just had some of that work done, and that's really the only thing I need to do to this truck for the trip, other than getting it packed and ready to go. This is Doc Martin's 02 Mitsubishi Montero, and we've been working on this also. I think the only thing he has to do right now is just pack his truck for the trip. You know, we just redid the rear living area. He had installed the shelving unit This is a battery box that he has, which is actually running off his solar. We put the solar through. We still have to get some paint, color match paint for the solar roof system here. We ran his DC to DC charger. He has a Renogy DC to DC charger, and we repositioned the refrigerator on sliders, and then also his OVS boxes. We actually had to modify the top box because it wouldn't fit the way it was configured, so we just modified it just ever so slightly, and it fits perfect in there. We have it secured to the rack. We have it secured to the floor of the truck, and these trucks have third row seating, so we still have access to get into the cargo area after taking the third row seat out, so we keep recovery gear or fluids and stuff like that in there. So that's the only thing I think he has left to do to his, is just go ahead and pack it for the trip. All right, Crusaders, Daryl here again. A few hours later, we're trying to finish up installing the hitch on the back of Steve's truck. As usual, with it being almost I don't know, 20-something-year-old truck, trying to thread bolts into threaded holes can be a pain in the rear end. So that's what we're working on right now, getting the hitch on. But just a quick summary of what we've done so far, starting in the engine compartment. So we ran the positive and negative wires all the way to the rear of the truck. From there, we ran it across the front, as I showed you earlier. We went down along the firewall, and then we worked our way all the way to the rear of the vehicle, came up through the light, up through the bumper, up through the light, drilled through, and then ran it inside. So what we installed was, as you can see, we ran the wire back through all this, and then we came out here and made an Anderson. So for Christmas, I got Doc Martin and Steve one of these new center cup holders, and it has a deeper pocket in it, and it also has the USBs in it. So Doc came in here, his power plug that I think that's inside the
this is the only one
center
that works.
console.
This one doesn't.
Okay, so the center console is working, but the cigarette lighter wasn't.
In the front, yeah.
So Doc went ahead, disassembled the dash, ran it through, and then installed the new USB thing.
Yep.
So you have one of those. Have you used it so far?
Oh yeah, yeah. So yeah, it's nice because you got the 1 and the 2.1 amps, so you can even plug in an iPad, and it was relatively straightforward. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, I have one of these. Daryl got me one for Christmas. Swaps this out, much deeper, so you can put your wallet in here. But you got the 1 amp and the 2.1. You can do your iPad on that bad boy. So I went ahead and pulled this out, grounded to the chassis, tapped into the power going to the stereo, ran it down, and this kit came with a really nice cord. Insulated cord is lickety split. So now we have additional charging ports here. Nice.
And unless you're sporting some like really huge base cup, these cup holders are nice and tight, as opposed to, so like here, Steve's Yeti, and it fits in there nice and snug. The factory ones, you had a smaller cup holder and a larger cup holder. And
it's in the back seat.
And if you didn't have the large,
look at that.
Yeah, so you had a small, that fit fine there, but that wobbles around.
Yeah. And then these aren't deep.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, there's a quarter, not even a quarter depth.
Got another one, Dave?
All right, so something else we did. Steve has these crazy monkey bars that hangs out, like I showed earlier, and he got one of these kick-ass shower awnings or privacy awning, similar to the one that's on my truck. So temporarily, we drilled holes through these monkey bars and attached the bracket so it can stay. He needs to get some lower profile crossbars, and then we can attach the lower profile crossbars with this system to the low profile crossbars. So that's, we also did that. And there's Steve. We got one hole that's really messing with us. So sorry for the wind, folks, but there's 2 fans blown because I think there's a heat index of at least 105. So I actually dropped the hitch from a parts truck we have in the backyard. I took the factory crossbar, which was not fun, and we got 3 out of 5 bolts in so far. We need at least 1 more bolt to put in, or he can have it welded in. That's fine too. He's not going to tow anything with it. It's just sort of a recovery point. So we can throw another bolt in there, and we can always get things welded up too, just to make sure. But that's where we're at. So, and then he'll have a hitch on the back of his truck also. All right, so we pretty much got everything done with Steve's truck we need to get done. So it looks pretty good. I think he's going to be happy with it. So we survived the, I don't know, 105 heat index.
103 officially, but it feels like 110.
All right, so that's where we are. And that's Eben with his high-pitched voice yelling for his dog.
Here we go. Oh yeah. I packed on some LB's Edge Switch carbs at lunch.
All right, man. So what do you need to tell the viewers?
Like, subscribe, and share to the Adventure Crusader and his homies.
God bless. Hope to see you on your own adventure, guys.
We'll have some killer content soon.
Hey Crusaders, Daryl here with my buddy Doc. Just to do a follow-up video to yesterday's video where we had Last Minute Steve, and let me get on the other side of the antenna.
Gigantic.
So yeah, my big 5 overland antenna was in the way of Doc's face. So for me today, on my truck, I was going to do the front rear differential fluids, the transfer case, and also change the oil in mine. Plus I have an oil sender unit sensor, some shit. What is it?
It's the pressure sensor.
Pressure sensor for the oil. So when I bought the socket for the new sensor, apparently that was a 27 millimeter, but the sensor that's on there is probably a 26 millimeter or a oil pressure sensor socket size. So I didn't get that changed. And then I'm poking around and I have a little coolant hose. Let's see if I can get zoomed in on that. Maybe not. So there's a little coolant hose right here. It's maybe 6 inches long. It connects way down here, way down there, and then comes up to here. So I was just checking the hoses and stuff, and as soon as I hit that hose, it started spraying some coolant. So I have to go ahead and order a new hose. But I did a workaround where I had some longer, looks like fuel line or something like that, that's going to last me the trip. I knew that for a fact because this happened to my wife's truck and it lasted her until the hose came in. So that's pretty much it. I did redo the support right here because it looked like it was probably getting oxidized from whatever the battery. So, and then I put these little, just to create space on that. But I did get the oil and the front differential replaced. So what do we got on you?
So I had to
go over and see Big Red.
Yeah, come on over.
All right, here we go.
Turbocharge kit. Just got done tuning it.
All right, so what you got? What do you have going on?
Okay, so today was a light day for me, well here, with the exception of the 105-degree heat. So I'm trying out the new Retevis RM300 GMRS antenna. So it is fiberglass like his Big 5 Overland, just not as beefy. You know, for the price point, I figured I'd give it a try, see how it does. But it's a 43-inch, so it also helps me with clearance over the rack at the top of the truck. And it is 6.5 dB, so it should give me some more distance on my radio. Antenna is it's basically part of the base, so it doesn't, you know, there's less connections you have to deal with. You know, ran it the same route as my previous antenna up into the unit, and so we should see how it goes.
So for this antenna, I have the Big 5 Overland, so this is less beefy of a spring.
Right.
The fiberglass shaft is smaller in diameter.
Right.
Can you detach this from the spring?
Yeah, this unscrews.
Okay.
So the spring, so the cable and the spring is all one unit. The cable actually comes out of the screw mount. So this is all one section. And then if I want to, I can take this out. If I wanted to add a pivot like Big 5 Overland makes the pivot, you can do that too. But I figured, you know what, for $80, give it a try, see how it works. If it works out, great. If not, I can put it on the other truck and get another one. Yeah, the spring is definitely not as beefy as
definitely not as, yeah. So
but this was the one I was using previously. This is a 2.3 dB.
and in my video, we couldn't even hear each other like a quarter mile away.
Right.
At one point.
Yeah. And then today,
we were at least a mile away from each other.
Or more. Yeah.
Probably a little bit more.
Yeah. And it was quite a bit better. Because usually on these trips, I'm in the very front, so I'm talking to everybody behind me. And getting to the very back, sometimes if we get split up, or our buddy Steve usually he paces himself to the very far back.
Yeah, that's last minute Steve we're talking about.
Yeah. He may not hear us. So this should be able to improve the range overall.
And if he sees it works out, there's still maybe down the road go with Big 5 Overland. And
so, what I do is I just put this on Old Blue, and then put a Big 5 Overland on Big Red.
Yeah.
Amen.
So really, all we have left now to do is just pretty much pack, right?
Yeah, pack the camping stuff. Yeah, get the camping stuff packed, and we're rolling out Wednesday night. Going about halfway that night and finish up the drive to Brevard Thursday, get in town 3-ish, and knock out any last minute stuff we have to.
Yeah, so Doc and I, we're going to leave out Wednesday after he gets off from work. So we'll both be packed up, ready to go. Steve, and if his daughter still plans on coming, is going to be staying in Griffin the night, which is about 30 minutes or so north of where we're staying. So we'll catch up with them the 19th.
No, the 18th.
The 18th,
yeah.
I'm sorry. The
Thursday.
8th, yeah, because our trail riding starts the 19th.
Yep.
So we'll catch up with them, and then we're headed all up to Brevard, North Carolina, and that's when we're going to meet everybody else. We got 2 guys coming in from Tennessee. We have, I think, at least 3 rigs coming in from Winter Haven.
Well, let's see, 3 to 4 rigs from Winter Haven.
Okay, 1 from Tampa, and then we have another guy coming in from...
Potentially from Ocala here.
Ocala.
He's doing a motor swap at the last minute. So yeah. He's pushing the limits.
But yeah, Doc here has everything routed out, and I think everybody's itching to get on some dirt and get up into the mountains and stuff. So
yep.
I know my wife's she's ready for me to leave for a little bit. So
yeah. And for those of you who are like, it's summertime, you're nuts. Up there, average high is 85, average low is 65. But to be on the safe side, a lot of us have, like myself, Daryl, Steve, we have icy breeze units, which we can use as a cooler during the day and use as a air conditioner at night in the tent to keep us comfortable.
We're in the truck because I'm going to bring my tent, but I am planning on sleeping in the truck.
Yep. So yeah, we plan on being comfortable, but any of this is better than work.
Yeah. So as we do this will probably be, I should finish this up maybe tomorrow, Tuesday at the latest, and this will probably be the next video I put out. So we will already be on the trail for the second day, I'm thinking, or the first full day when this video comes out.
Yeah.
So
we'll have 2 days on the North Carolina Adventure Trail.
Yep.
From Brevard to Andrews, and then at Andrews we pick up the Tennessee Adventure Trail. And we have 2 days on that. It dips down into Georgia on the northwest side. We'll finish in Calhoun.
Yep. And then I guess you could say another thing I have to do, I've gotten with Steve from Adventure Off-Road X. He's the owner of Eye Candy Designs here in Ocala, Florida. And he's doing up some graphic stuff for my windows, my rear sides, and my rear window, and across the visor. So I told him if he just gets it together, I will install it myself. That way he doesn't have to worry about that. So really that's it. And then I guess fill up with gas, some minor groceries. We'll get some groceries in the mountains, but I think we're all excited, man.
Yep. And there'll be a ton of good content to follow.
Yes. Thank you, goodness.
So we need to what?
Like,
subscribe,
and share.
There you
and God bless, and hope to see you on your own adventure.
Yep. Rock and roll.